Hello everyone, and welcome to Scrap to Piece. My name is Lydia, also known as Illustrata, and this is now my first video that I'm filming in my new living space. It is now pretty much a little bit past exactly a month since my now husband and I got married. So both rings are on there, and it's been great. We got back from our honeymoon not too long ago. We went to Japan for 9 days. So now it's back to getting into the swing of things of work and life and getting back to doing YouTube stuff, because these past few months I've really missed doing creative stuff that isn't involving the wedding, because that is one video that's going to be coming, which is my wedding dress video. But in the interim, we have a little bit over 2 weeks until Halloween, and I need to finish my Halloween costume. And so one thing that my husband and I had tossed around the idea was to, once we were married, dress up as Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. And I do realize, yes, it's a bit of a tragic one, but we could also do our own spin on it. So whatever. For my costume, you'll see in the wedding dress video, I had planned to possibly incorporate this blazer that I found at Deseret. And it's handmade. I don't know how old it is, or it's probably a more recent make, but it has like the beautiful Victorian sleeves on it and everything. You're probably getting upset because of the fact that I cut up a handmade item that I don't know how old it is, but it's mine, and I wasn't able to incorporate it into my wedding dress, so why not use it for a different bride character in this case. So I'm going to be using that, and then I have a design that I sketched up. So what my plan is, you guys are gonna not be happy about this, I'm gonna cut it up the back, hem it on both sides, and then put like crisscross ribbons going down, and then I'm gonna have a bunch of like bandaging and weathering and loose ribbons coming off, and then I have this beautiful black dress that I'm going to wear underneath it. I need to replace the buttons on it because I am not a huge fan of how the buttons look. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I'm very excited to finally work on this. And I ended up designing it while we were on our honeymoon. We were waiting on the airport before our flight back to the States, and I didn't have anything else to do, so I just worked on the sketch, and it looks great, and I'm very excited to get back into making things. And I think aside from my wedding dress video, I don't know if I've ever done like technically a costuming video? Correct me if I'm wrong, editor Lydia. Because I did make the the bodice patterns, but that was about it. So yeah, so life is starting to finally settle down a bit. I now have a little makeshift mini art room, which is our laundry room. And so my husband has his gaming setup out in the living room, and I have my art setup here, and then I have a little shelf over here as well. Our garage is entirely full of stuff that we need to organize and declutter, so expect a video on that too. My husband just got home, so we'll cut to... Hi, babe! Cut to the project. So this project is probably going to be a bit more vlog style, but I want to replace the buttons on this blazer because honestly I'm not a fan of them, and they don't exactly fit the vibe, because I want to save them and make them look like eyeballs. But that doesn't really suit the Bride of Frankenstein vibe, so I'm going to replace them. I currently have my button collection out right now, which is very lovely, but also I'm not really seeing anything that kind of sticks out at the moment, so I'm gonna kind of look through. But then I'm planning to go to our local reuse market this weekend, and hopefully I'll be able to find some sort of like metallic style buttons, because I need 12 of them. Want to be on camera? Maybe. My husband brought me popcorn in my popcorn bucket from Tokyo Disney Sea. Thank you, babe. Love you.
Love you.
I finally got myself the Packers seam rippers because I don't know where my other ones went, and the one that I had was way too dull. This is for you, Jenna. Okay. I'm gonna leave the extra threads in here so I can at least mark where the new buttons need to go. I have a surgical skin marker. Perfect. Very on brand for this project. Last one. Perfect. So the dot is still there, but the thread's gone. And the fun part is this doesn't have to be exclusively Bride of Frankenstein. I can legitimately wear it for any other events like the Ren Fair. Heck, maybe even the flea market. There we go. It's all fully marked out. Okay, unfortunately I do not have a dress form, so I have to make do with myself, just like I did with my wedding dress. So ow! Just stabbed myself with a seam ripper. Ow. One half. Done. And the nice part about this project is if it looks messy, that's technically on purpose. Ow! I just stabbed myself with another pin again. Yay. Apologies that the laundry is still going, but I have this very, very long ribbon from my mom that'll be perfect for the lace-up portion of my concept, because if you look at the back, we'll have this lace-up portion. It's not going to be adjustable because I don't have a patience for making an adjustable lace-up, but this is the plan. And currently, I have the blazer on a hanger, safety pinned together so it doesn't fall off, because I still don't have a dress form anymore. Thought I was securing one on Facebook Marketplace, but apparently not. I pinned it wrong. Alright, update. It worked. Thank God. So, this is what it looks like from the inside. Well, this is bottom. The excess ribbon. Don't mind my literal mess of everything else I have back here. So, tie. Loop. And then do backwards loop. Cool. There we go. So, I also have this tulle skirt that I had started back in the days of living at my parents' house, and it has never been sewed. It still has the original pins in it. So what I'm going to do, since the jacket itself is separate, I'm going to sew both ends so then I can stretch it out to that point and pin it around the edge. Okay, I'm going to put this off to the side. So now let's go ahead and sew this. I successfully found buttons for the project, along with a bunch of other buttons that will be going into my collection. Where did the little container go? Ah, here it is. So we have what's called a reuse market that sells a bunch of different craft stuff for discounted prices. And they had so many variety of different kinds of buttons. So I got some for future projects. So for the project, I needed some either white or metallic or something like that buttons. So I found these ones. They have kind of like a bumpy texture on them, almost kind of like mermaid style. They are vintage. Aside from that, we didn't just get buttons. We found trim pieces. This will probably be on the collar of some sort. This trim, these white ribbons, this white ribbon, regular, and then got some tiny ribbon. Also now, a little project update. I have a dress form. It's a short one, and it's not exactly my size, but it'll work. So it's nice being able to see it in all its glory hanging up. So this will help me just with laying everything out, seeing how it's looking, because it'll lay like that. So so cool. And then this is what the cuffs look like. So they have ribbons wrapped around the cuff, and then extra ribbons along the open wrist cuff so you can tie it up. Then on the back, you can properly see this action. It looks so pretty. But then part of the reason why I got the dress form is so one, so I can use it for future projects, but now I can start weathering. But we're not going to do that until we add the rest of the details. So, and this also helps me visualize everything so I can actually start pinning on new details. So, got a long evening ahead of me, so I'm excited to get started. So these pieces have been pleated, but then they're just ironed to some interfacing. So they're stiff and they don't move that much, but I have 3 of them. So my thought was, since they kind of look like bandages, I can maybe add them around the collar Where I was also contemplating is like, should I add them around the cuffs? But the only problem is they don't go that far around the cuffs. Might work. I think I actually have just enough to go all the way around the collar. Alright, now to add the first button. Ooh, that looks really pretty. These are looking so pretty! I'm very thankful since this is a handmade item. The buttonholes have already been made, so I don't have to deal with that. Okay, last one. The nice thing is when you have a dress form, you can just stare at it and try and figure out what you're going to do. So, since the buttons are done, they look really, really pretty. I'm going to take this lace trim from that shirt that I cut up, and I'm going to pin it to the bottom bit of the trim. So enough to, probably just going to cut off this excess so I don't have to deal with this, but just kind of like right along the edge so it sticks out a bit. If you want to know something about me when I make costumes, I'm extra as heck. So, I'm honestly going to keep the collar bit, but then I added ribbons going down here to kind of frame it with some kind of this kind of canvas ribbon. So it kind of looks like bandages, which is part of the goal. And then I added ribbons down the front to frame the little lace pieces that I added. More of that canvas ribbon down the side to make a taper. I have some ribbons down this side to frame it. And this is both the same on both sides. And then on the very bottom I have a ribbon kind of sealing everything in around the trim. And then I've left off like some hang off ribbon bits. So now it's just fun just trying to figure out like, where am I adding the extra bits? Because now I have more and more extra. Because I do at least want to make the cuffs to look like they're bandages. Now adding these ribbons onto the cuffs as bandages. I've already finished the other cuff, so I'm mainly just working on this one. I had enough of this creamy ribbon to do 3 ribbons each side, so it's looking so cool. I love being extra, and my husband loves it too. Okay, and then I'll probably add like ribbons along here to kind of clean up the area, because I also still have some more of this canvas bandage. so many ribbons pinned in this material. Cool. I have like this much, and I'm curious on how to use it up. I'm gonna split this in half and then just sew extra on here. Cool. Okay, I use that up. Okay, since I feel like I've gotten to a point where I don't know what else to add next, I'm gonna start sewing this. There are so many pins in this jacket. Oh my gosh. Ow! As I stab my stomach. Everything is looking great though. I'm very, very happy with it. So. Cuffs are done. Add a little trim ribbon to cover up the raw edges. Then just have to trim off the excess. And then, oh yeah, I still have to do this other cuff. Okay, I took off the collar so I can just, since there's like, it's 3 pieces, I'm just sewing them together so there's no raw edges, and then I could just sew directly to it. Oh no, oh no. What happened? What just happened? There we go. Oh, it just got tangled. That's what happened. Just my luck. And if it ends up wonky, which it is, that's fine. This all looks wonky. And Byron just doesn't care. That's the last bit of sewing, at least for now, unless I decide to add something else. I tried this on last night, and I do really like it. It looks amazing. I was able to get all the stitches done that I wanted to. However, it is not a tapered blazer. Granted, it's a handmade item, so I can't expect it to be tailored perfectly to my body. It's just essentially kind of like a kind of boxy shape, so it doesn't really fit properly around the waist area. One thing I'm going to do, in spite of the fact that I sewed in these ribbons along the sides, I'm going to put it on and then kind of just pin in along the sides the taper structure that I need to do in order to make this properly fit me and more accurately fit the sketch that I made. Also, one thing that I didn't expect is that these buttons are slightly too big to get through these. So what I might do is I might go through and like maybe cut 1 or 2 stitches so it can fit. Also, it looks so pretty. It looks so gorgeous. I love how all the details came out. And then like the bandages they're loose, so they're only sewed on the inside areas. But it looks so cool. I don't know if I want to like weather this at all because of how pristine and beautiful it looks. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna try and taper it first and then we'll kind of see where we go. I ended up pinning some like general areas on where I need to taper it essentially. The tapering it worked. It really worked. So it looks so stylized now. It looks so much better. I can still I can still button it up, which is great. But yeah, this looks so good. Stop a little bit. A little bit, that's fine. I don't care. I really don't care because it looks good. Wow! I got this seam so even. The other one is like barely off, but I don't know if I want to weather this or not because it just looks so pretty. I don't know. Because if I do it, I can't stop. I can't just like stop doing what I'm trying to accomplish. My leg just came in. Okay, don't laugh. That's something. So this is the ad. It looks a little bit much, but and the wig is a little bit small. So I'm gonna, when I wear it, I'm gonna paint up stripes up the sides to make the aesthetic. Or if I don't like these too much because they kind of look a little bit questionable, I might end up cutting these off. I don't know. Oh. So remarkably, I'm actually already at the end of this project. I managed to do this in a few weeks. I have the skirt finished. It was a pain in the butt to do. Now, one of the last things that we need to do is, now that I have the wig, I cut off the curls by the way, I need to add the stripes to it. So I don't know where my wig cap ended up. It's probably somewhere in here, but I'm not about to go and find it. So I'm just gonna slip this on over my actual hair. And I'm just gonna paint the stripes on. Stripes start right here, pretty sure. This might be a bit of a dumb idea, but I am going to just paint them with acrylic paint. Oh, they're actually a little bit higher. So her stripes start like right here actually. So, and I say this a lot when I'm working on projects like this, or just like art projects. I'm very much an amateur, not like I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm like, I do it more for the enjoyment than the professionalism of it. It's right here, and then I trail upwards. So, here goes nothing. Okay, let's see. Oh, right here. Oops. And then, right there. I got something. Like I said, I'm an amateur. Okay, this side looks so much better than this side. But hey, the stripes ended up relatively even, from what I can tell in the camera. Yeah, that side looks great. This looks meh. I mean, technically it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm gonna take it off and then I'm gonna kind of keep adding details. I'm gonna keep painting this, so hopefully it'll look more on brand. So, costume is now done. So today's Monday, so we'll see you on Friday when we get to put this all together and do makeup. So it'll be fun. This looks so cool. This is how my makeup looks. Trial and error, but the wig looks great, the blazer looks great. Craig. Craig looks great, I look great. This is gonna be fun.